All right, welcome back. Today, we're diving into day 3 of the India AI Impact Summit. And let me tell you, this was the day that completely flipped a script, shifting the entire conversation from just promises to some serious power plays. And this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. The focus just pivoted hard. We went from hearing about giant investment funds to seeing the actual massive, tangible hardware and the intellectual groundwork that's going to power India's AI dream. It was all about building the engine, not just talking about the fuel. So, to really get what happened on day 3, you've got to look at it as 3 different stories all unfolding at the same time. First, there was this incredible blitz of hardware announcements. Then, you had this major push to give the Global South a real voice in AI research and diplomacy. And finally, a very public scandal that really put the summit's credibility on the line, all while a record-breaking crowd was showing up. Okay. First up, the hardware. Now, even though its CEO wasn't physically there, one company, NVIDIA, just completely took over the day. They unleashed this torrent of partnership deals that signaled a truly monumental commitment to building AI infrastructure right there in India. And the first bombshell dropped from a company called Yotta Data Services. They announced a staggering $2 billion investment to build out their AI cloud. And the goal? To become one of the largest AI cloud hubs in all of Asia. This isn't some future plan either. This is happening right now. Now, look at this number, 20,736. That's how many top-of-the-line, liquid-cooled NVIDIA GPUs Yotta is putting to work. For anyone who follows this stuff, you know that is a simply colossal amount of computational power. Just massive. And the news just kept on coming. The engineering giant Larsen & Toubro, they revealed a joint venture with NVIDIA to build India's largest AI factory infrastructure. Now, to give you a sense of the scale here, we're talking gigawatt-scale ambition. Think about that. That's enough juice to power entire cities. And they're kicking things off with a 30-megawatt facility in Chennai. And this is what I find so brilliant. You can see the strategy here. They're not just selling chips and walking away. No, they're embedding themselves. They're partnering on core infrastructure with L&T, building that massive cloud with Yotta, teaming up on compute with Reliance, and, get this, even working with India's National Payments Authority to build sovereign AI. That means AI systems built and controlled inside the country for its digital payment backbone. This is a full-stack integration into the Indian economy. But you know, raw computing power is only half the story. The other part of the equation, the intellectual and diplomatic side, was just as important. This was all about carving out a new space for the developing world in this global AI conversation. And the heart of that was this academic symposium, which, believe me, was no side event. It pulled in over 250 research submissions from all across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. We're talking about the strongest academic showing from the Global South at any AI summit ever. This was a statement. They're not here to just use AI tech. They're here to help shape it. And right at the same time, the whole summit was transforming into this major geopolitical stage. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in a whirlwind of high-level meetings on the sidelines, with tech titans like Google's Sundar Pichai and heads of state from Europe to Asia. The AI summit had officially become a diplomatic powerhouse. So you've got these huge deals, world leaders everywhere, and right in the middle of all this monumental ambition, a very public drama was reaching its climax. A scandal had blown up the day before, and now the organizers had to act, with the whole world watching. This really embarrassing situation involving a Chinese-made robot dog being passed off as Indian innovation just came to a head. But instead of trying to sweep it under the rug, the government ordered the university to vacate its stall. Immediately, they cut the power, put up barricades, a swift, decisive, and very public takedown. It was a clear signal. For India's AI ambitions, credibility is everything. So what you're seeing here is the summit literally growing up in real time. It moved from the high-level policy speeches of day 2 to the concrete infrastructure deals, the deep academic debates, and the serious diplomatic handshakes of day 3. It was a clear shift from just making pronouncements to actually putting things into practice. So, with all this going on, the good and the bad, what was the public reaction? Absolutely overwhelming. Despite the negative headlines from that scandal, the summit registered over 3 lakh attendees. That's more than 300,000 people. And here's the real kicker. Most of them were under the age of 30. That tells you there's a huge wave of youth interest in AI. In fact, the response was so huge, so off the charts, that officials made a last-minute call that just speaks volumes. They officially extended the entire 5-day summit by an extra day. I mean, when you have to add a day to your event because the public turnout just completely shattered all your expectations, you know something big is happening. And all of this, the deals, the diplomacy, the drama, the insane crowds, it was all just the opening act. It was all building towards day 4, the political heart of the entire summit, where the stakes were about to get even higher. And the agenda for the next day was just stacked. You had Prime Minister Modi's formal address to the world, a joint appearance with the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, a closed-door roundtable with the CEOs of Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic, and a plenary session with over 20 heads of state. This wasn't the setup anymore. This was the main event. Which brings us to the one critical question hanging over this whole thing. After a day of such concrete action backing up all the big talk, is this the moment? Will this summit be remembered as the moment India truly arrived as a defining power in the global AI order? Well, day 4 was about to give us the answer.